We have a problem. The people that we trust to educate us, to provide information for us, are not aware on some of the concepts.
First of all, me as a journalist, I did not understand that there are so many different ways in which farmers can farm in love with nature.
We are battling a lot of diseases that are coming from the foods, the manufactured foods that we have.
Agroecology is a broad concept and people must know about it.
I mean, taking agroecology to a large scale, we have a long way to go. But we are the key to that, communicators and journalists.
The online Agroecology School for Journalists and Communicators is a brainchild of SF Uganda. This came about because we noticed a gap in reporting agroecology and reported stories. They were all lacking either the content or they were not given the right attention in the media, and many times stories that are related to agroecology and healthy food systems were suffocated. They were not given the right attention.
We innovated the Agroecology course for journalists and communicators under the school to kind of build the capacity of journalists and communicators to understand the ecosystem of agroecology and how it relates to our food system, how it relates to our agriculture system, and how it relates to all the other aspects of our lives.
It's been a very informative journey. It's been very impactful. I was very bleak about the subject of agroecology, very new to it. But when I got to understand the movement, to understand the agenda, I was taken up completely. And so I'm totally sold to the agroecological movement.
The agroecology course has significantly changed my outlook towards agriculture in general, and specifically food security as well as nutrition security.
Majority of the agricultural programs that we are doing that is our radio station, IUIU FM. We focus so much on agroecology and then gender equality.
I was in the second cohort, and I must say it's been a good course. As an editor, I want to speak from the point of the editor. This has helped me to put agroecology stories at the forefront. I am one person who is now very attracted to agroecology stories. I will not drop any agroecology story. You know, sometimes reporters will come in with their stories, like the usual stories. But because it's agroecology, I'll work around it because I've first of all gotten the training, then I have gotten the interest in agroecology, and I feel like as a trainee, I need to push the agroecology movement forward. If I may make a comparison, first of all, we used to juggle agroecology and the industrial. We would have a story that starts with agroecology, then juggles in the industrial. So we're mixing all of them. But after that, I think, if I may say, like in a week, we can have like 3 stories, because we have now a reporter whom I have deliberately assigned to do agroecology. That has increased the number. So in some way, it has really improved our stories, which are really agroecology, not mixed up. They are basically agroecology.
As a journalist coming from a country that is extremely food insecure, we look at agriculture in a monolithic way. We are looking at agriculture in terms of just production, consumption, without looking at the practices that farmers are employing to grow the food. So we use a lot of mechanized agriculture, we use a lot of chemicals, fertilizers. So as a journalist, I'm learning all these different practices and introducing them within the media conversations, because the media sets the public agenda. So if I have all this knowledge, it is very easy for me to start a conversation within the media associations that I belong to, and also among my audience, so that people can understand that there's a way to farm in love with nature, and it's a way to fix our broken food system. There's so many story ideas around food security and agriculture. For example, there are agroecological practices that many people don't know about, even journalists themselves. This has been an eye-opener for me to be able to communicate to my audiences, to communicate with journalists within the different associations where we belong, to be able to brainstorm with experts around farming in love with nature.
After studying the 12 weeks, they're like, I was promoting something I didn't know. Now I know the negative impact of what I was promoting, and now I know where I want our food system to go. So hearing that from a journalist is so encouraging to me, And it's so encouraging to SF Uganda to be able to continue to train more journalists as possible and share this information with journalists and communicators.
I was a person who wouldn't sell agroecology. I would tell you, please, it delays and I don't want to hear it. But currently, I'm a transformed person. I interdicted from conventional agriculture in each and everything I do when it comes to issues concerning agriculture, preparing a program. I have to think of the agroecology part of it. Before
I joined the Agroecology School for Journalists and Communicators, agroecology was completely a new concept for me. I didn't know that by attending the school, it would open doors for me, opportunities as a reporter. After attending the school, I learned about how to communicate about agroecology. They taught us different angles. They gave us a network of other journalists. So when Mogabi, an international NGO that aims at promoting agroecology, gave a call for African reporters to work for them, I took the opportunity and I applied. And I can say the only unique thing that was about me was that I had attended a school, so they picked me because I had learned the concepts of agroecology. I was able to defend myself on agroecology. I was able to give different things that we had learned in the school, the different ideas, pitches, I was able to pitch, and as a result, I was taken up as an African reporter, and I can say since then, my life has not been the same. I'm able to earn, and I feel very confident that if they ask me to do a story, I have people to interview, I have the knowledge about the concept, and I attribute everything to the school of the Agroecology School of Journalists and Communications.
I mean, taking agroecology to a large scale, we have a long way to go. But we are the key to that, communicators and journalists, to voice this thing called agroecology to every young person that there is.
I would call for further community journalism about agroecology, and it is something real that I think we should dig deep in conjunction with SF Uganda, such that the Agroecology School for Journalists and Communicators that not only involve journalists, but still can fetch deeper in villages for community journalism.
Under the Agroecology course for journalists and communicators, the 12 weeks course in the 12 weeks course in the 3 cohorts, we have so far trained 43 journalists from different districts in Uganda, but also from other countries in the East African community. In total, we have worked with over 47 media houses in the region. And in that, we are thinking that if we continue building that kind of network, we are going to have a list of very many media houses understanding this concept of agroecology.
So we were not only able to cover Ugandan journalists and communicators, but were able to roll out to Rwanda, Tanzania, and to Kenya. And right now we can see that the movement of journalists has really grown because they had faith in that vision, and they've heavily boosted us and are still encouraging us even to go further.